Hello, everybody, and welcome to our mini lesson for this month on receiving divine support. And so I just want to begin by saying that all of us, whether you believe it or not, are being supported by our something bigger. And some of you might call that source, some of you might call that universe, some of you might call it God, Jesus, Buddha, Mother Nature. I currently call it my higher levels because I want it to encompass all possibilities. God, angels, goddesses, fill in the blank. So I call it my higher levels. Including people that have passed on and are on the other side. And, we might call them our guardian angels. So because I want as much support as possible, I call it higher levels. But whatever you choose to call it today, it's really, I would say we're being called right now on the planet to deepen. So even if you feel like you do trust or you do believe that you're being guided and supported always, it feels like we could all go a little bit deeper. And there's going to be a few ways that you know that this might be something you need to go deeper in. So we'll be getting to that in a minute. First of all, though, I'd like to talk a little bit about why. Why have we lost this trust or full trust or belief that there is something bigger that is loving us and guiding us and supporting us? And there's three main reasons I have found, and of course there might be more, but the three biggies that I've experienced for myself and then in working with others have also seen. And one of those is that you might have had some negative religious experiences growing up, or just one. So perhaps you grew up with a religion that was very harsh and punishing. And because of that, why would you want to be connected to something or even believe you could be supported by something that's harsh and punishing? Right? It's do it my way or the highway type of thing. And, I don't know about you, but that doesn't work for me. And that's one of the reasons I got away from religion. I also didn't know at the time that spirituality and religion could be they can be connected, but they can also be separate. So currently, I'm not a part of a specific religion, but I feel I am more connected, more spiritual than ever in my life before. So some of you might feel that as well. Now, that being said, I do work with people that also, have those combined. Religion and spirituality go together. That's just not for me. But, I always honor anyone wherever they are on their journey, including what their religious background is. I work with people from LDS to Catholic to Lutheran to fill in the blank. People that are like me that don't have a religion but are spiritual. And of course, I get a lot of people in through my doors that, I was not a part of anything and was not spiritual for many years until the MS hit. And that's why this is one of our Vibrant Body and Abundant Life keys, right? Because I found that it was so necessary, so important to my healing and staying healthy. So, anyways, negative religion experiences. And some of us might not even remember what those were exactly, but we kind of have this like knowing anyways, like, oh, there must have been something. And then some of you might remember. Number two, maybe you had another life challenge and who didn't, right? Who doesn't? Maybe you were teased. Maybe somebody in your family died. Maybe somebody else got really sick. And so when we have these, sexual abuse, so when we have these other life challenges or negative experiences, whether we're conscious of it or not, we will often make it up in our mind, well, there must not be, I must not be getting support, right? Or this bad thing, the thing we labeled as bad wouldn't have happened. Or again, if this bad thing happened, how can we really trust that something bigger is supporting us, right? That we're receiving divine support. And then the third one is that oftentimes maybe it's not from a personal experience, but we've heard or a lot of limiting beliefs around spirituality and religion. You could have been just hearing that growing up, right? So maybe it wasn't a direct experience, but you heard from family or society or culture, um, lim- what I would call limiting beliefs around trusting and receiving something bigger support. So that's why, right? That's why many of us don't believe in at all or don't fully trust that we are receiving divine support every moment of every day. So, the problem with this, why is this something that we want to work on? Why is this something that we want to um, rebuild trust again, to fully believe in and trust and receive something bigger support? So, I would say one of the big pieces is if we don't have that, we fall into patterns that are unhealthy. So I'm going to name a few patterns. So you might fall into the pattern of trying to do it all alone, right? Thinking, believing you have to do it all alone. Maybe trying to control everything or everyone. Maybe you're a control king or a control queen. And again, I'm saying this with some humor. We're not using any of this to beat ourselves up. Just complete compassion and curiosity. Because we can't change anything we're not aware of, right? And we definitely can't change if we become aware and then judge ourselves for it. So let's just right now leave judgment at the door. So these patterns of trying to do it all alone, trying to control, and also believing then that you're responsible for everything and everyone, their happiness, solving their problems. These are all very common patterns we pick up when we don't fully believe and trust in something bigger. Because if we don't believe it for ourselves, then we don't believe it for other people as well, usually, right? That they all have their own something bigger. And so we've got to do it all and we've got to be their something bigger, which, as we know, does not work. So these patterns, and I just mentioned a few, cause a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and a lot of overwhelm and anxiety. And I am speaking from personal experience. And as much as I've worked on this deeply since 2004, when I was diagnosed with MS, even though the diagnosis is gone, I still have some other symptoms. So all of this pressure, all of this stress, all of this anxiety of not fully trusting and believing and receiving something bigger support eventually can cause you to have a negative symptom in the body or an illness. So some common ones I find with this key are insomnia. And I used to struggle with horrible insomnia. I worked at a sleep clinic, helping people for a year. This was a big focus, anxiety, and then this piece. So insomnia, maybe if you struggle with sleeping, then this might be at the root. If you have GI issues, again, MS is gone, but if I start falling into any of those patterns driven by fear, right? Trying to control, thinking I'm responsible for everything, trying to do it all alone, then I will have my GI problems ramp up again. You might also experience hyperthyroid issues if you struggle with this key. And then, of course, other chronic illnesses. MS was definitely driven by, a big part was driven by fear. And again, we've got all 10 keys that I found that I needed to work through to heal the MS. And this was a really big one. So other chronic illnesses as well. The other thing that happens is that when you have these negative experiences, these limiting beliefs or conditioning placed on you, it actually can keep you from seeing and receiving fully that support that is being given to you every single day. Okay. So that's another reason why we want to work on this and shift this and clear out all of these limiting beliefs and fears, heal these past wounds or traumas, negative life experiences, so that we can not only heal our bodies, but also feel more peaceful and receive more love and support in all forms from our something bigger. So, um, two other just kind of little side notes, and then we'll get into a few tools to start. Regarding the bad things that happened, our something bigger does not make something bad happen, nor does it always prevent something bad from happening. This is a deeper conversation we're going to have this month in the Trust Something Bigger key program. But right now, I just want to kind of thread in there that our souls, spirits, whatever you want to call them, asked to have certain experiences in this lifetime. And our something bigger is not going to intervene or interfere with those, with the soul's desires, with the soul's journey. Now, they are with us, supporting us every step of the way through that bad thing, quote unquote, bad thing that, part of us judges as bad. Even though it's here for our soul growth and experience. Not all of us know that when it's happening. And many of us are still trying to come to terms with that right now, that's, we weren't being punished. Our something bigger didn't make it happen, didn't stop it, maybe because that was what your soul wanted to experience for lots of different reasons. Again, deeper conversation within this month's key program, which I would love for you to join me for that if you want to go deeper into this. So that's an important piece to put out there as well. So let's see. I felt like there was one other thing I wanted to share in this this mini lesson around that, but right now it has gone away. So if it comes back in, I will share it. So just a few tools to start. Again, because my background is occupational therapy, I've been taught to rate things on a scale of 1 to 10. Again, not to beat ourselves up, but to gain clarity and awareness on where are we right now. So when I started on a scale of 1 to 10, my belief and trust that something bigger was here to support me was probably a 1, maybe even a 0. And now I'm probably on most days a 7, 8. So big leap, and yet I'm still working on this too. And in some areas it's easier for me than in others. So you might find that as well. But in general, let's just go ahead and rate on a scale of 1 to 10. Right now, how much do you believe in, trust that something bigger is supporting you in your life? And again, with compassion and curiosity, we're not using numbers or any of this to beat ourselves up. So next, again, reflecting, what I call write and reflect, with compassion and curiosity. What were some of your experiences growing up? What did you directly experience, or what did you hear that might impact your ability to fully receive something bigger support, to see it and receive it, right? And also to ask for it, right? Even though they're giving it to us, the more we ask, also the more we'll receive. So what were those negative experiences or wounds or traumas or things that you heard about trusting something bigger growing up? And from there, you can start to form and become aware of what limiting beliefs or fears you hold. Whether we're aware of them or not, they impact us. They impact what we receive in life. So it's really important that we don't just focus on these limiting beliefs and fears all day, but that we actually become aware of them and write them down and then use tools to shift them. So go ahead and take a minute, pause this if you need to write down what are those limiting beliefs or fears that you might hold, possibly given what you experience, those negative experiences or things that you heard that could keep you from fully receiving something bigger support, seeing it and receiving it, trusting it. And then as always, once you do that, you can write down an opposite positive truth or truths, more than one if you'd like. And so again, we want tools that work on shifting the limiting beliefs and plant the seeds for what is true. I believe in my experience and working with hundreds, thousands of others that this is necessary to do both. So, one of the biggest ways that we can do that is through guided meditation practices, through self-healing process, and then very simply by writing and affirming the truth, the opposite truth on a daily basis, writing it, affirming it. And those of you that join me for the Trust Something Bigger Key program are going to receive lots of tools, the guided meditation specific to the key, the self-healing process, and some other connection practices so that you can connect with your something bigger. Um, so that's another piece. And then lastly, carving out time every day. And I like to do it definitely in the morning, but right now I'm doing it 3 times a day at least. Take time, intentionally, consciously take time to connect with your something bigger, ask for, write down whatever support you need, and then be open to receiving so that you can either rebuild or deepen this trust. And again, it can be a few minutes to longer, whatever works for you, wherever you want to start. All right. So hopefully this was helpful, you guys. And as always, I love feedback. If you want to share it with anybody else that you think would benefit from this, feel free to do that. And again, if you'd like more support around this trusting and receiving divine support and something bigger support, I encourage you and invite you to sign up for the Trust Something Bigger Key program or all 10 keys in the Vibrant Body and Abundant Life journey. All right. Oh, and there's one third option now too, the Connect with the Divine You monthly membership. In that, you also get the tools. You don't get the live classes or the audio lessons, but you do get the guided meditations for this key, the self-healing process, and the connection practices. All right. Hope you guys have a very nurturing and relaxing and peaceful and fun August before we slide into fall. And I look forward to supporting you on a deeper level. All right. Bye.